Alien and Jaws challenge capitalism in this creature double feature. Jaws and Alien make a great double feature because of their vicious animals and biting criticism of capitalism. I'm sure it makes sense. I'm sure it's a great article coming from CBR.com. I never looked at it that way. I guess it's just me. Let's get into it. Before we do, if you want to support me, go ahead and check out collegeofthedead.com. These books are finished. They're in print. They're ready to ship. They came out absolutely fantastic. 48 pages, full color, really beautiful books, shipping immediately. And sign up for epicmermaids.com. It is the Mermaids comic book. You're going to be getting a 48-page full color series. It's really like Game of Thrones with mermaids. Really well written, really beautifully done. All right, back to the article. Alien and Jaws challenge capitalism in this creature double feature. Okay, I mean, this I remember. This is super iconic. Remember this. I remember as a kid being like, wow, she's pretty cute. That girl's not wearing any clothes. But, all right, let's go on and check this out. Steven Spielberg's 1975 film Jaws invented the concept of the summer blockbuster and was followed by 3 sequels and countless ripoffs. I mean, if they invented the whole blockbuster concept, then really every blockbuster following their format was a ripoff. Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien is considered one of the best horror films ever made and also spawned 3 sequels, 2 spin-offs, 2 crossover films, and many video games. And, well, I guess that's Alien Predator. I mean, they're not done yet making Alien movies. These 2 films are some of the most iconic films of all time, known for their stunning visuals, brilliant execution of suspense and gore. Yeah, their effects were like incredible, especially for the time. They also share a deeply rooted criticism of modern capitalism within their texts. Okay, let's check that out. That's kind of what we're doing here. Jaws was adapted from a novel of the same name by author Peter Benchley about a vicious man-eating shark that terrorizes a small beach community and 3 men who band together to save the summer. While adapted from the book, there were many changes made from the original novel in the adaptation, including Mayor Larry Vaughn's involvement with the mafia being cut entirely. All right, I don't know anything about that for sure. I never read the book. In the book, Mayor Vaughn resists Chief Brody's impassioned pleas to close the beaches for safety because of pressure he faces from the mafia. All right. His mafia connections insist that he keep the beaches open in order to protect real estate values and local mafia businesses. In the movie, this motivation is removed, but Mayor Vaughn still insists the beach stays open to preserve local businesses. He does do that. The mayor is pushing to keep the beach open, and, you know, that is like controversial, and it does seem like it's all about money, but yeah, there's no mention of mafia in the movie that I can remember. Amity Island is a small beach community that makes almost all of its revenue during the summer thanks to tourism. Mayor Vaughn claims the beaches must remain open at all costs in order to preserve the economic success of the island. I mean, it's kind of reasonable, right? I mean, if it's a beach town, and we're kind of going through some of that now with lockdown, whatever, like, you know, people are saying, hey, we need to make a living, and others are saying, hey, well, we got to be safe. So, all right, it sort of relates. He believes their economy's tanking for the summer is a bigger risk than losing more lives to a shark. All right. I get you. By protecting profit over innocent lives, Mayor Vaughn is an example of capitalism at its worst. All right. I mean, I guess I see the point. That's a pretty good point. Yeah, mafia just confuses that. Who needs to think about that? It's clear enough point. Amity also shows the flaws of capitalism by having a town so dependent on the financial success of a singular season that civilization is unstable to begin with. All right, that's a good point. Very dependent on just the season. The whole town, if they don't have a successful season, will be destroyed. And even if there was a hurricane season or whatever, yeah, it would wipe them out. All right, good point. I don't know that socialism would be any better or communism or anything else, but all right, you know, I don't know if that's a flaw of capitalism or a flaw of planning for the town people. Anyways, when the private businesses fail, the entire town fails. With people out of work, they would in turn struggle to pay their rents or mortgages, so they'd have to relocate. All right, relocation would further hurt the town because the tourism industry would be damaged more with the businesses now gone, creating a cycle that will result in the summer hotspot becoming a ghost town, or becoming a town like only for the rich, that happens. Maybe this is why. Because of sharks. Beyond Mayor Vaughn, Quint also exploits the situation for financial gain. He shows up at the town council meetings to offer to find the shark for $2,000 and kill it for $10,000. Yeah, if you find it for $2,000, you're going to need that $10,000 to kill it. I don't think they're going to want to just find it and be like, "Hey, told you what? There's the shark. Give me my $2,000." Like, no, they want you to kill it, so it's no longer a threat, and you can have your successful business. Okay, I gotcha. He's the best man for the job, and he knows it. So he's exploiting the sacred and desperate town for cash, even though the lives are on the line. Well, I mean, how is he exploiting? He can't work for free. He's taking a risk of his life. He is threatened, as we see later in the movie when he tries to kill the shark. It's like, you got to pay him something. Especially if it's give me $10,000 on success. If he's getting paid, like, if he kills the shark, $10,000, even in 1970s or whatever, it still doesn't seem unreasonable if he's assuming all the expense and the risk of actually trying to kill the shark. I think that's a fair deal. I might charge $12,000 to kill sharks. If you need a shark killed, you can find me on Twitter and send me a direct message. Once on the job, Quint rejects suggestions for help and even destroys their only contact to the shore, assuring that he will only do this job in turn for profiting the most. All right. Eventually, Quint is killed by the shark. Okay, that would teach him a lesson, which could be read as his greed and obsession being his downfall. Yeah, it could be read that way. I think that's fine. While Mayor Vaughn is one of the main antagonists, since several deaths could have been prevented if he took action, capitalism is the main source of contention, having two of the characters, Vaughn and Quint, believing that it's only the way to succeed in life, all right, despite the risks that others put in. All right. Jaws is not overtly about the failures of capitalism in a modern society, but that theme is present. All right. The irony is that the film created the capitalist-driven blockbuster nature of films today, despite its critique of the system. Isn't that a hoot? It's like, well, but who else is going to make multi-million-dollar risky films, if not for a capitalist system, for people willing to be putting up the money in exchange for the return of the success? And how could the creators express themselves unless they were part of a system that would enable them to sell their projects and make their projects? It's really like running Indiegogos, but they didn't have Indiegogos at the time, so they had to work with film companies. Alien was also deeply inspired by Jaws, pitched as Jaws in space. And the criticism of capitalism is also clearly embedded in this film. Alien is about the crew of the commercial space tug Nostromo and the deadly alien that boards their ship. The reason the titular alien gets to rip through the crew like livestock is because crew member Ash is secretly an android working on corporate orders to prioritize the specimen above everything else, even the crew's lives. Hey, if you're an android, what do you care about crew's lives? I get it. So no androids. That's the lesson. Live by it. He is the one who overrides Ripley and allows the alien on board in the first place, and he tries to kill Ripley when she threatens the alien's life. Interesting. I don't know if that's about capitalism. It's about androids. Don't trust androids. Capitalism's fine. Socialism's worse. Much worse. That's another video. Ash is under strict instructions from the Faceless Corporation to consider the human lives aboard the ship as disposable in favor of potential economic success. The corporation exploits its workers for profit to the point that most of them die, all in the name of profit. That's dedication. Once again, this is an extreme reflection of the downfalls of capitalism, with the workers' well-beings overlooked in favor of money. I mean, workers did not do so well in socialism, honestly. You don't even get to choose your work. They just assign it to you. And if you don't like it, it's like, what, are you kidding? That's what we told you to do. You got to do it. It's not even merit-based. It's just like, you got to do it. I don't know. But let's go on. They are also not seen as individuals in the eyes of the corporation. They are seen as a means to a financial end. I mean, you're not going to be, in socialism and communism, you're not seen as individuals. I think you know that. Where Jaws directs its critiques on capitalism as a structure for maintaining society, Alien dives deeper and criticizes capitalism's exploitation of workers. The visual aesthetics of the Nostromo are meant to represent the daily lives of the worker, which are systemic, oppressive, and claustrophobic. This is a deliberate choice to emphasize how the heroes of the film are working-class victims of the upper class. Okay. In both Jaws and Alien, the main villain is a creature running on instincts. While these creatures are viciousness, they are just animals driven by their nature. They only possess a deadly risk to humans when capitalism forces humanity, particularly the working class, into dangerous situations with these beasts in order for the upper class to profit. I mean, wait though. It's not just the upper class, especially with the town of Jaws, right? Because they said it's the whole town. It's not just the rich people. And maybe that point would have been better made if they would have left the mafia in the story and those guys were really wealthy. So it's that doesn't jive. I'm sorry. I don't agree. Both films are iconic pieces of American cinema, and they share many similarities in structure and intention, including the shared criticism of modern capitalism and its negative impacts on individuals. Not a bad summary. I hadn't thought of the films that way. I probably ought to have. I feel a little silly. But okay. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Did you know this about Jaws and Alien? I didn't. Would you like to see a Jaws versus Alien crossover? I'd like to see that. That would be kind of cool. It could happen. But first, it all starts with you making comments. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Again, if you want to support me, collegeofthedead.com. These books ship immediately, and they look absolutely gorgeous. You can check it out for yourself. And sign up for epicmermaids.com. That is the Mermaids comic book coming soon. Game of Thrones with mermaids. You will love it. I will see you again soon with another video, and if I don't see you, I will miss you.